I come home early today expecting nothing unusual, just another normal day after work. But as soon as I step into my house, I hear shouting from inside that stops me in my tracks. My heart tightens because the voice I hear is Aisha's, and she is arguing with her mother Salma. I pause near the door, not wanting to interrupt, but the anger inside makes me push it open. The moment I step in, everything goes silent. Aisha turns toward me slowly, her eyes cold like I have never seen before. Salma stands behind her, arms crossed, watching me like I am a stranger in my own home. I say nothing at first, but Aisha suddenly shouts, "Why are you here so early?" I look at her, confused, and ask, "What is going on here?" Aisha doesn't answer me. Instead, Salma steps forward and says, "You should not have come back." I feel my chest tighten as I take a step closer, trying to understand what is happening inside my own home. I ask again, my voice lower this time, "What do you mean I should not have come back?" Salma smirks and says nothing, but Aisha finally speaks, her tone sharp and cold. She looks straight into my eyes and says, "This house is no longer yours." I freeze, thinking I misheard her, and I laugh nervously. "What are you talking about?" Aisha doesn't laugh. She just throws a file onto the table in front of me. I pick it up slowly, my hands shaking slightly as I open it. Inside, I see property papers, and my name is missing. My throat goes dry as I look at Salma and then back at Aisha. I whisper, "What did you do?" Aisha finally looks away and says nothing, while Salma speaks instead. Salma says, "You were never meant to own anything here." I feel anger rising inside me, but I keep my voice calm. I ask, "Is this some kind of joke?" Aisha finally turns back and says, "No, this is reality." I step back, feeling like the ground under me is breaking. I whisper, "Why are you doing this to me?" Aisha looks at me for a long moment but says nothing. Salma steps forward and says, "Because you were weak." I feel my fists tighten, but I force myself not to react. I say slowly, "I built this house with my own hands." Aisha replies, "It doesn't matter anymore." I look at her, trying to find the woman I married. But all I see is someone I don't recognize. I ask softly, "When did you become like this?" Aisha avoids my eyes and says, "I had no choice." I laugh bitterly and say, "No choice? You destroyed my life." Salma interrupts, "You should leave now before this gets worse." I stare at them both, feeling my world collapsing. I say, "You think you can just throw me out like this?" Aisha replies, "Yes." That single word hits me harder than anything else. I step back again, my breath uneven. I whisper, "You will regret this." Salma smiles and says, "We already don't." I turn toward the door, feeling humiliation burning inside me. Aisha calls out, "You have 1 hour to leave." I stop walking for a moment, then nod slowly. I say, "You are making a mistake." Aisha doesn't respond. I walk toward the door again, each step feeling heavier. I hear Salma whisper something to Aisha, but I don't turn back. I reach the door and pause, my hand on the handle. I close my eyes for a second, trying to process everything. I whisper to myself, "This is not over." I open the door and step outside. The sunlight hits my face, but I feel nothing. I stand there for a moment, hearing silence behind me. I whisper, "I will come back." I walk down the stairs slowly, each step feeling like a decision. I hear Aisha shout from behind me, "Don't come back." I stop for a second but don't turn around. I say loudly, "You don't get to decide that anymore." I keep walking, my fists clenched. My mind keeps replaying everything that just happened. I whisper to myself, "They planned this, they planned everything." I feel anger rising again, but this time it is controlled. I pull out my phone and call Imran. I say, "I need you right now." Imran asks, what happened? I pause and say, everything. There is silence on the line. Then Imran says, I'm coming. I look back at the house one last time. The lights are still on inside. I whisper, that was my home. I feel something break inside me, but I don't show it. I turn away and keep walking down the street. I whisper, I will not lose everything like this. I sit on a nearby bench, trying to steady my breathing. I replay Aisha's face in my mind again and again. I whisper, you were my wife. I feel pain, but I push it down. I take a deep breath and say, I will not lose everything like this. I check my phone again, waiting for Imran. I whisper, I need answers. Suddenly, my phone rings again. It is an unknown number. I hesitate before answering. I pick up and say, hello? A deep voice says, stop digging if you want peace. I freeze instantly. I ask, who is this? The call disconnects immediately. I stand up from the bench, heart racing. I whisper, this is bigger than I thought. I start walking again, faster this time. I feel like my life just split into two parts. One part ended inside that house. The other part starts right now. I whisper, I will uncover everything. I keep walking into the dark street. I hear distant sounds behind me, but I don't look back. I say, this house will not define my ending. I stop once more and look at the sky. I whisper, I am not finished yet. I feel the weight of betrayal still inside my chest, but I force myself to breathe slowly and stay calm because I know this is only the first chapter of what is coming next. I whisper again, they think I am done, but they don't know me yet. I tighten my fists and walk forward, knowing everything will change from this moment. I say softly, Aisha, you made the biggest mistake of your life. I walk into the empty street, leaving everything behind, but inside me something new is born, something stronger, something dangerous, and I know this story is not about losing anymore, it is about what I will take back, no matter how long it takes, and I finally feel free inside me now. I stand outside my house holding a small bag, and I feel like I have already disappeared from my own life. The same gate I used to walk through every day now feels like a wall that does not know me anymore. I keep staring at the door, waiting for it to open, but it stays closed. I shout, Aisha. Open the door. No answer. I knock harder. Aisha, we need to talk. After a few seconds, I hear her voice from inside, cold and sharp. Go away. I freeze. I say, what are you doing? This is my house too. Aisha replies instantly, not anymore. My grip tightens on the small bag I am holding. I step closer to the door and say, you can't just erase me like this. Then I hear another voice. Salma. Calm, almost laughing. He already is erased. My chest burns. I shout, Salma, this is between me and my wife. The door doesn't open. Instead, I see shadows behind the glass. I know they are watching me. I say again, open the door right now. Aisha finally speaks again, slower this time. Leave before I call someone. I laugh in disbelief. Call who? This is my house. She answers, not legally anymore. Those words hit harder than anything she has said before. I step back a little, trying to breathe. I whisper to myself, this is not real, this cannot be real. I take out my phone and call her again. It rings inside the house. I hear it, but no one picks up. I call again. Still nothing. I send a message, talk to me. Don't do this. No reply. I look around the street. It feels too quiet, like the world is pretending nothing is happening. I say out loud, someone tell me what is going on. A neighbor opens his window but quickly closes it again after seeing me. That hurts more than I expect. I sit on the steps outside my own house, my head in my hands. I whisper, how did it come to this? I try calling my friend Imran. He picks up after a few rings. Bro, I'm outside my house, they locked me out, I say quickly. Imran pauses. What? Slow down. What do you mean locked out? I say, they changed the papers. Aisha and her mother. I don't know what is happening. He responds, stay there. Don't do anything stupid. I'm coming. I nod even though he cannot see me. Hurry. The call ends. I look back at the door again. I shout, Aisha, this is not the end. From inside, I hear nothing. I feel my anger rising again, but this time I swallow it down. I tell myself, think, don't break. I stand up and walk a few steps away from the house. My legs feel heavy, like they don't belong to me anymore. I whisper, this is my home. I built it. I stop and look at it again. The lights are still on inside. That makes it worse. I say quietly, you are sitting in my life like I never existed. I sit down on the curb, staring at the door without blinking. My phone vibrates again. It's Imran. I'm 5 minutes away, he says. I reply, I'm still here, they won't open. He says, don't argue. Just stay calm. I look at the house and whisper, calm is gone. The call ends again. I lean back and close my eyes for a second. I hear footsteps inside the house, laughter even. That sound hits me like a slap. I whisper, they are celebrating, while I'm outside. And I realize something I don't want to accept yet. I am not just locked out. I am being replaced. I sit in Imran's car outside my house, staring at the same door that locked me out of my own life. My hands are still shaking, but I keep them closed into fists so he won't notice. Imran looks at me and says, you didn't sleep at all, did you? I answer without looking at him. How can I sleep after what they did? He sighs. Then we stop guessing. We get proof. I finally turn to him. Proof of what? She already took everything. Imran shakes his head. Not everything. Not yet. That word, yet, sticks in my mind. He starts the car and says, I know a lawyer. Good one. Bilal. He deals with property fraud cases. I ask quickly, will he even listen to me? Imran replies, he listens to truth. Not stories. I stay silent the whole way. My mind keeps replaying Aisha's face when she said, you are weak. Weak. That word keeps burning inside me. We reach a small office building. Imran says, come. I hesitate for a second. What if this is useless? He looks at me and says, then we try again. But you can't sit outside your own life forever. I nod and follow him. Inside the office, a man in his late 40s sits behind a desk. Calm eyes. Sharp face. He looks at me like he already knows something is wrong. Imran says, this is Bilal. I shake his hand. I need help. Bilal gestures to a chair. Sit. Tell me everything. I sit down and take a breath. My wife and her mother, they took my house. Bilal doesn't react. He just says, documents? I hand him the file with shaking hands. Here. He opens it slowly. The room becomes silent. Only the sound of paper flipping. I watch his face carefully. At first, he looks normal. Then his eyes narrow. Then he stops moving. He asks quietly, who gave you this? I say, my wife. He looks up at me. You didn't sign this. I shake my head fast. Never. He leans back slightly. Then this is fraud. My chest tightens. What do you mean? He points at the paper. These signatures are forged. And badly forged. I feel like the air leaves my body. So, it's fake? Bilal nods. Yes. I whisper, but she said it's legal. Bilal cuts in. People say many things. Paper says truth. I grip the arm of the chair. So I still own it? He looks at me carefully. Legally? Yes. But someone has already started stealing it through system manipulation. My voice rises. Who? He pauses. That, we need to find. My mind goes blank for a second. Then anger hits. I whisper, Aisha. Imran puts a hand on my shoulder. Breathe. I shake it off. Don't tell me to breathe. She destroyed my life. Bilal looks at me directly. Anger will not help you win this case. I laugh bitterly. I don't want a case. I want my life back. Bilal replies calmly, then you need control. Not rage. Those words silence me. Imran says, what do we do next? Bilal closes the file. We collect proof. Bank records. Transfer history. Witnesses. Everything. I ask, how long? He answers, depends how deep the corruption goes. I feel my stomach twist. Imran says quietly, we start today. Bilal nods. Good. I stand up, but my hands are still shaking. Before leaving, Bilal says, one more thing. I stop. What? He looks at me seriously. If your wife did this, she didn't do it alone. That hits me harder than anything. I whisper, what are you saying? He replies, someone helped her. Or guided her. I feel my throat go dry. Who would do that? Bilal says nothing. We leave the office. Outside, Imran says, you okay? I laugh without humor. Do I look okay? He answers softly, no. We walk toward the car. My mind is spinning. I suddenly stop. I need to talk to her. Imran turns. What? I need answers, I say. He grabs my arm. Not like this. Not emotional. I pull away. She took my home, Imran. He says firmly, and she wants you to react exactly like this. That stops me. I breathe heavily. Then what do I do? He looks at me. We watch. We plan. We don't break. I nod slowly. But inside, something is already burning. That evening, I go back near the house alone. Imran told me not to. But I needed to see her. Aisha is outside the gate, talking to Salma. They stop when they see me. Salma smirks immediately. Look who is still here. I ignore her. I look only at Aisha. I say, we need to talk. Aisha crosses her arms. We already did. I take a step closer. Why did you do this? She sighs like I am wasting her time. Because you were weak. Those words hit again. But this time, I don't react. I ask slowly, weak? She nods. Yes. You trusted too easily. You never questioned anything. You were comfortable. I feel my jaw tighten. So you used that? She replies coldly, I used opportunity. Silence falls. Salma laughs softly. He still doesn't understand. I finally look at Salma. You planned this too. She shrugs. We fixed your mistakes. I turn back to Aisha. Was anything real? For a second, she hesitates. Just 1 second. Then she says, no. That single word breaks something inside me, but I don't show it. Instead, I nod slowly. I say, okay. Aisha looks confused. Okay? I step back. Yes. I understand now. Salma narrows her eyes. What are you planning? I smile slightly. Nothing. I turn away and start walking. Aisha calls behind me, you can't do anything. I stop without turning back. I say quietly, we'll see. And for the first time, I feel something different inside me. Not pain. Not confusion. Clarity. I whisper to myself while walking away, I will not stay weak anymore. And I mean it. I sit with Bilal and Imran again the next morning, but this time I am not the same man who walked into his office before. Something inside me has already changed. I don't ask why anymore. I only ask how far. Bilal spreads new papers on the table and says, we got something. I lean forward immediately. What is it? Imran folds his arms. Tell him. Bilal looks at me and says, your property wasn't just transferred. It was used. I blink. Used? He nods. As loan collateral. My stomach drops. Loan? What loan? Bilal slides another document toward me. Multiple loans. Big amounts. Taken in your name. I grab the paper fast. I never took any loan. Imran says quietly, we know. I read the document again and again, but the words don't change. My voice rises. So someone used my house to take money? Bilal answers, yes. I lean back, my chest tight. Who? Bilal hesitates. A bank officer helped. I narrow my eyes. Name. He finally says it. Rafiq. That name feels new, but also dangerous. Imran says, he works in the same bank branch that processed your property file. I whisper, so it was inside the system. Bilal nods. Not just inside. Controlled. I feel anger rise again. And Salma? Bilal looks at me carefully. She coordinated with him. I sit still. Everything inside me goes quiet. Then I whisper, so it wasn't just betrayal. Imran says, it was planned. I stand up suddenly. No. It was a robbery. Bilal says calmly, yes. But legal on paper, until we prove fraud. I laugh bitterly. Everything was legal until I found out I was homeless in my own house. Silence falls in the room. Imran says, we can take them down. I shake my head. No. I want to see them. Bilal looks at me. That's emotional. I reply instantly, no. That's necessary. That evening, I go alone to the house again. Imran told me not to. Bilal said wait. But I needed to look at her face. When I reach the gate, Salma is outside. She sees me and smiles like she was expecting this. She says, back again? I walk closer. Where is Aisha? She laughs. Why? You think she misses you? I ignore her. I know about Rafiq. Her smile fades slightly. I continue, the bank officer. The loans. Everything. Salma crosses her arms. So what? That single word shocks me more than I expect. I ask, so what? She nods slowly. Yes. So what? I feel my fists tighten. You used my identity. She shrugs. You had nothing else useful. I step closer. You destroyed my life. She tilts her head. No. We corrected it. I laugh angrily. Corrected it? She leans in slightly. Aisha deserved better than you. That sentence hits me harder than anything else. I whisper, better than me? Salma nods. Yes. You were never enough. I feel something crack inside my chest, but I don't show it. I ask quietly, so this was always the plan? She smiles again. From the beginning. I stare at her. And Aisha? Salma replies, she made the right choice. I look at the house behind her. She's inside? Salma says nothing. I raise my voice. Call her. She finally smirks. She won't come. I nod slowly. Then tell her something. Salma raises an eyebrow. What? I say, this is not over. Her smile fades slightly. I turn and walk away before she can respond. That night, I sit alone in my rented room. No lights. No noise. Just silence. My phone is on the table. I stare at it for a long time. I whisper to myself, Rafiq. Salma. Aisha. I close my eyes. For the first time, I don't feel just anger. I feel exhaustion. I whisper, why did I trust her? My voice breaks slightly. Why? I sit on the floor, my back against the wall. And for a moment, I let everything out. I don't cry loudly. But I break quietly. I whisper, I gave her everything. Silence answers me. After a while, I wipe my face and stop. I breathe deeply. I say out loud, enough. I stand up slowly. I look at the mirror. My eyes are different now. I whisper, this is not pain anymore. I pick up my phone and call Imran. He answers immediately. What happened? I say calmly, we go deeper. He pauses. What do you mean? I reply, we find everyone involved. Imran says, Bilal is already working on it. I shake my head. Not enough. He asks, then what? I say, we need someone who knows how to expose everything, quietly. Imran says, like who? I remember a name Bilal mentioned once during our first meeting. I say, Farouk. Imran pauses. The investigator? I nod. Yes. I want him. Imran replies, are you sure? I look at myself in the mirror again. And for the first time, I don't see the man who was thrown out. I see someone else forming inside me. I say slowly, I'm sure. The next day, I meet Farouk in a small cafe. He doesn't smile when I sit. He just says, Bilal told me about you. I nod. I need truth. Farouk leans forward. Truth is expensive. I reply, I've already paid too much. He studies me for a moment. Who do you want exposed? I say, everyone. He raises an eyebrow. That's not a small request. I lean in. They destroyed my life. He nods slowly. Then we start. I ask, can you handle corruption inside banks? He replies, that's my specialty. A pause. Then he asks, what do you want at the end? I think for a second. Then I say, I don't want their apologies. I look at him directly. I want their truth to collapse in front of everyone. Farouk nods once. Then don't interfere. I ask, what does that mean? He says, from this point, you are not the victim. I whisper, what am I then? He replies, the trigger. And in that moment, I understand something clearly. This is no longer about betrayal. It is about exposure. And I am no longer running from the truth. I am walking straight into it. I sit in Farouk's small office the next morning, but this time I don't feel like I am waiting for answers anymore. I feel like I am waiting for targets. Farouk throws a file on the table and says, "You were right. This goes deeper." I lean forward immediately. "Tell me everything." Imran sits beside me, silent but alert. Farouk opens the file slowly. Rafiq didn't just approve loans. I narrow my eyes. Then what did he do? He looks at me. He built them. I blink. Built them? Farouk nods. Fake loan chains. Multiple accounts. Your name was used as a shield. My jaw tightens. So I was just a cover? Farouk replies, yes. Imran whispers, this is organized. I lean back slowly. So Salma wasn't just working with him. Farouk cuts in, she was part of the structure. That word hits differently. Structure. Not mistake. Not emotion. Planning. I ask, where is Rafiq now? Farouk answers, still working. Still inside the bank. I laugh once. Of course he is. Imran says, we need evidence from inside. Farouk nods. Already working on it. I stand up. I want to see him. Farouk looks at me sharply. That's not smart. I reply immediately, I didn't ask if it's smart. Imran stands too. Bro, don't go alone. I turn to him. I'm not alone anymore. That silence hangs between us for a second. Farouk finally says, if you go emotional, you lose everything. I look at him directly. I already lost everything. I walk out before anyone stops me. That afternoon, I go near the bank branch. Imran follows behind me but stays at a distance like we agreed. I see him. Rafiq. He is standing outside, laughing with another employee like nothing in the world has ever touched him. Something inside me burns instantly. I walk straight toward him. Imran whispers from behind, don't do anything stupid. I don't answer. I stop right in front of Rafiq. He looks at me slowly. Yes? I say calmly, you know who I am. He pretends to think. Should I? I step closer. You used my name. His smile fades slightly. I don't know what you're talking about. I nod slowly. Of course you don't. He tries to walk past me. I block him. Don't move, I say. He looks irritated now. Listen, if you have a complaint. I cut him off. You turned my life into a file. That sentence makes him pause. I continue, loans. Fake signatures. My house. He lowers his voice. You should leave. I laugh quietly. Or what? He steps closer. Or you will regret this. I stare at him. I already lived the regret. For a moment, he doesn't speak. Then he says softly, you have no proof. I smile slightly. I don't need to convince you. I lean in. I just need you to know I'm not done. His eyes narrow. You're threatening me? I shake my head. No. I step back. I'm warning you. I turn and walk away. Behind me, I hear him say, crazy people ruin themselves. I don't look back. Imran meets me halfway down the street. He says, you okay? I answer, better than before. He frowns. That didn't look like control. I stop walking. It was the first step of control. That night, Farouk calls me. Don't meet him again, he says immediately. I reply, I already did. Silence. Then he asks, what happened? I sit on the floor. He lied like it was nothing. Farouk says, that's how criminals survive. I whisper, not for long. He continues, we got bank logs. He moved money through 3 fake accounts. I ask, can we prove it? Farouk replies, we already are. That word makes me sit up. Already? He says, yes. But we need one more thing. I ask, what? He pauses. A recorded admission or witness. I nod slowly. Then we get it. Farouk warns, don't force it. I reply, I won't force. I'll expose. He ends the call. The next morning, Imran meets me again. He looks worried. You're not sleeping. I answer, I don't need sleep. He shakes his head. You're changing. I look at him. Good. He says, that's not always good. I stop walking. Imran. I was thrown out of my life. He nods. I know. I continue, so I can't be the same man who trusted it. He goes quiet. Then he says, just don't lose yourself completely. I stare at him. I already lost the old version. Later that day, I return near the house again. Not to confront. Just to observe. Aisha is outside. She sees me and doesn't move. I walk closer. She says first, you again? I reply, yes. She crosses her arms. Still playing games? I shake my head. No games. She sighs. Then what? I look at her carefully. Truth is coming out. For a second, something flickers in her eyes. Fear. Then she hides it. She says, you have nothing. I nod slowly. I had nothing when you took everything. I step closer. But now I have something better. She asks, what? I answer, clarity. She scoffs. You think that scares me? I say quietly, it should. Silence falls between us. Then she says softer, you don't understand what you're dealing with. I tilt my head. I understand perfectly now. I turn to leave. She calls after me, you were weak before. I stop. For a second. Then I say without turning back, no. I walk away slowly. This time, I say, I'm awake. The first sign that everything is changing comes in the morning when Imran calls me. His voice is different this time. Faster. Sharper. He says, it started. I sit up immediately. What started? There's a pause before he answers. The bank froze their accounts. For a second, I don't even speak. Then I ask slowly, whose accounts? Imran replies, Aisha. Salma. And 2 linked accounts Rafiq was using. I grip my phone tighter. All of them? Yes, he says. Completely blocked. I breathe in slowly. So it's real now. Imran says, it's very real. I hang up and just sit there for a moment. No anger. No shock. Just silence. Then I whisper to myself, it's starting to break. Later that day, I meet Farouk in his office. He doesn't greet me this time. He just slides a folder across the table. Read this, he says. I open it immediately. What is it? He replies, Bank Movement Report. I scan the pages. Numbers. Transfers. Flags. Then I see something that makes me pause. I look up. These accounts, they're empty. Farouk nods. frozen and investigated. I lean back. So they have nothing now? He corrects me. They have panic. That word hits differently. I whisper, good. Farouk studies me for a moment. You're not reacting like before. I reply, before, I was the victim. He nods slowly. And now? I look at the file again. Now I'm just watching. That evening, I go back near the neighborhood. Not to the house. Just nearby. People are outside talking more than usual. I hear my name. I stop walking. A man says, I heard he filed a fraud case. Another voice replies, no, it's bigger than that. Bank case. Someone else whispers, that woman Aisha, they say she used fake papers. I keep walking slowly. No one looks at me directly, but I can feel the change. Before, I was the man who was thrown out. Now, I am the story. I pass Mrs. Khan's house. She sees me and comes out. She lowers her voice. Beta, is it true? I ask, what do you hear? She hesitates. That your wife did something illegal? I nod once. Yes. She looks shocked. Ya Allah. I say quietly, it's not over yet. She whispers, I knew something was wrong when strangers kept coming. I look at her. You saw them? She nods. 4 weeks. I ask, why didn't you say anything? She looks guilty. I thought it was family matter. I don't blame her. I just say, now it's not just family. And I walk away. That night, I move into a small rented room. It's not big. Not clean. Not anything like my old home. But I don't feel weak here. I sit on the floor with my back against the wall. Imran comes in holding tea. He looks around. This is your place now? I nod. For now. He sits beside me. You okay? I answer honestly, strangely, yes. He laughs slightly. That's not normal. I reply, nothing about this is normal. We sit in silence for a moment. Then he says, Farouk called me. I look at him. What did he say? Imran hesitates. He found something about Aisha. My chest tightens. What? He lowers his voice. She had debt before marriage. I stare at him. What? He nods. Big debt. Personal loans. Credit issues. I feel something shift inside me. Imran continues, she was drowning already. I whisper, before me. He nods again. Before you. Silence. I stand up slowly. So I was never her partner. Imran says nothing. I continue, I was her escape. He looks down. I laugh once. But it's empty. So this was never love, I say. Imran replies softly, maybe she needed survival. I turn sharply. Don't justify it. He raises his hands. I'm not. I sit back down slowly. My voice drops. She used me. Imran says quietly, yes. That word sits between us like a weight. The courtroom feels colder than I expected. Not physically. But inside me. I sit on one side with Bilal and Imran behind me. Across the room, Aisha sits with Salma. Rafiq is at the far end, looking down like he already knows he lost. No one speaks at first. Only silence. Then the judge enters. Everyone stands. I look at him carefully as he sits. Serious face. Sharp eyes. No emotion. Just authority. He says, begin. And just like that, everything starts falling. Bilal stands first. He says, "Your Honor, we present evidence of property fraud and identity misuse." I sit still as he speaks. He places documents on the table. One by one. Each page feels like a step closer to truth. Aisha shifts in her seat. Salma avoids looking at anyone. Bilal continues, "The signatures on these documents are not genuine." He turns toward me slightly. Then back to the judge. "We have forensic verification." The judge nods once. "Proceed." Then the recordings start. A courtroom officer plays audio. And suddenly, Salma's voice fills the room. "I don't care how you do it. Just make sure the house is transferred." A silence hits the room instantly. I feel Imran tense beside me. Aisha's face changes slightly. Salma whispers, "That's not." But Bilal interrupts, "It is verified, madam." The recording continues. Rafiq's voice comes next. "Relax. The papers will go through. No one checks properly." My jaw tightens. So calm. So casual. Like stealing a life was paperwork. The judge leans forward slightly. "Continue." Another file is opened. Bank transactions. Loan approvals. Fake accounts. Bilal says, multiple financial transfers were processed using the complainant's identity. Aisha suddenly speaks. "That's not true." Her voice breaks halfway. Everyone turns. The judge raises his hand. "Order." She stands up slightly. "I didn't do anything alone." Salma pulls her sleeve. "Sit down." But Aisha doesn't. She looks at me. For the first time in a long time, she looks unsure. I didn't understand everything," she says. I stay silent. Because I already know the truth. Understanding was never the problem. Choice was. Bilal turns to Rafiq. "Do you deny your involvement?" Rafiq shifts in his seat. He looks around. No escape. "No," he says finally. The room tightens instantly. Imran whispers behind me, "He's done." I don't respond. Rafiq continues, voice low, "I processed the loans." Salma suddenly stands. "He is lying." The judge's voice cuts through. "Madam, sit down." She freezes. Then slowly sits. For the first time, I see fear in her face. The house is mine again. Legally. That's what Bilal tells me over the phone. But when I hear those words, I don't feel what I expected. No relief. No celebration. Just silence inside my chest. I stand outside the gate for a long time before entering. Imran is with me, but he doesn't speak. He just watches me. Finally he says, "You ready?" I look at the door and answer, "I don't think that word exists anymore." Still, I step forward. The moment I open the door, the air feels heavy. Same walls. Same floor. Same smell. But nothing feels the same. Imran walks in behind me slowly. He says quietly, "It looks exactly like before." I reply, "That's the problem." He doesn't answer. I move forward step by step. My hand touches the wall. I whisper, "I built this." Then I stop. Because I remember who I was when I built it. A man who trusted too easily. A man who believed home meant safety. I sit down in the middle of the living room. Imran sits beside me. He says, "She's gone." I nod. I know. He adds, "Salma's case is moving fast." I reply, "I know that too." He looks at me. And Rafiq? I say, finished. Imran leans back. So it's over. I stay silent. Because I don't know if it's over. Or just quiet. Later that evening, Bilal comes to the house. He stands near the door and says, "Everything is restored to your name." I ask, "And them?" He replies, "Aisha is gone. No contact. No trace. Salma is in custody proceedings. Rafiq is under investigation." I nod slowly. Then I ask, "Do I need to go to more hearings?" Bilal shakes his head. "No. Your part is done." That sentence should feel good. But it doesn't. I say softly, "So it's finished." Bilal studies me. "Legally?" "Yes." He pauses. Then adds, emotionally, "That's yours to decide." And he leaves. Night falls. I sit alone in the house. No lights on. Just darkness and memory. I walk through each room slowly. Bedroom. Kitchen. Stairs. Everything feels like a photograph of another life. I stop near the window. Outside, the street is quiet. I whisper, "You used to live here." Not her. Me. A version of me that doesn't exist anymore. My phone rings. Imran. I answer. "Yeah." He says, "I'm outside." I open the door. He walks in holding 2 cups of tea. He hands me one. We sit on the floor again. Like we used to. He says, "You survived something most people don't come back from." I take a sip. Then I say, "Did I survive, or did I lose something else?" He looks at me. "Both." I nod slowly. Because that feels true. I lean back against the wall. "I don't trust people the same anymore," I say. Imran replies, "That's normal." I shake my head. No. I don't think I trust myself the same either. He asks, "Why?" I stare at my hands. Because I didn't see it coming. Silence. Then I add, "I built a life, and didn't notice it being taken apart." Imran says quietly, "That's not weakness. That's betrayal." I look at him. Same result. He doesn't argue.